Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. So, XV Media is here today with Mr. Kemoy Whyte. So, Mr. Whyte, you're one of the most well-decorated referees in Jamaican rugby league history right now, or in the Jamaica rugby space right now, I should say. So, my very first question is, right, what first drew you to rugby league back at Calabar High School?
I must give that props to my big brother, not by blood, but by family, by friendship, Mr. Jason Gooden, alongside with Mr. Roy Calvert and Romeo Monteith. Those were the inspirations. Those individuals were the inspiration of me joining. The bond and the relationship that they had in high school. I just gravitated to. They were great leaders.
I see. That's wonderful. So, while these great people, they brought you towards rugby league, can you walk us through your journey from Calabar High School to becoming Jamaica's head rugby league official? Like a simple 5-minute talk about it. Just
wow, that is indeed a venture. Let's say so. I started at Calabar High School. We played Union originally. There was the Union that was the forefront of it all. So rugby league didn't start in Jamaica until about 2004, 2005. 2005, I was in sixth form. So really and truly, rugby league was dominant when I was just about to leave high school. Following this, within the first year, you had like 4 clubs. I think it was the Police, JCF, Army, Vauxhall, and the Duane Park Red Sharks that started out as the originating teams.
So let me say it again: the JCF, the JDF, the Duane Park Red Sharks, and who else?
And the Vauxhall Club.
Oh, the Vauxhall Club. Okay.
Vauxhall Old Boys Association, I believe they were called. Right. I represented Duane Park Red Sharks at the time. It was a rigorous set of training, rigorous days. New sports, slightly different from rugby union, because with league you get 6 carries with the ball. With the 6 carry, while in rugby union you could have the ball for the entire day, for the entire duration of the game, but you only have 6 chances, 6 tackles to complete with the ball. So it's a bit more challenging because you're trying to move from your try area to the opponent's try area. I further went on to play for UTEC at first, and then I was transferred to UA on a scholarship, which I competed there.
One Pelicans.
Yes, that's UA Mona Pelicans. While there, I would have still been playing for the Duane Park Red Sharks. I was called up, I think it was 2012, I was called up for my first national representation. This was to go to Canada. We went to Canada and opportunity was immense. It was great. We went on talk shows, did interviews. Unfortunately, we would have lost that year too. Unfortunately.
Why?
We are winners. National
it's a revenge match.
Exactly. We are winners. Right. I would have had other multiple representations locally. I would have played against Barla, that's a USA team. Another USA team, I don't remember the name, but a number of representatives.
So, Mr. Whyte, not to cut you short, but so while you were doing all of this, while you were representing your nation, while you were representing the Red Sharks locally, while you were still an active player, what made you decide to pursue refereeing?
The meat of the matter. So, 2014, I think I got injured. Actually broke my leg.
Okay.
I got injured, and in that same year, I had my daughter. I had my daughter, and looking back on what rugby is all about, looking back at where the sport needs to go, and assessing myself and my future, I realized that there's more I can give. And that led me, that assessment, that injury, along with the assessment that I did, we needed to improve, and not just as players. We needed to spread our wings in terms of representative for officials. That allowed me to gravitate to officiating.
So, okay, just to continue that question.
My first match was nerve-wracking. In terms of fitness, I must say I was able to keep up, because there's a saying that goes that the official must be fitter than the players, because we do a lot more work than the actual players. So fitness was not an issue, but making the correct calls, and having an open mind, not being seen as an impartial, unfair ref or a biased ref, those all played factors in my head to say, as a player transitioning into the sports as an official now, you don't want to hear, oh, I'm used to play for X team, that's why I'm being fair or biased to that team or making that call. But at the end of the day, it was a rough experience.
So how do you keep calm when players or coaches challenge your decisions like that? Because no matter what you're doing, I feel like people will say, you see, him used to play for Sharks, that's why I'm going to give him that call, or he used to play for you, or he used to play for you, that's why he's giving that call. So how do you maintain your composure when you hear these things on the pitch?
That is true. And if you approach me by the laws of the game, that's what I will respond with. Once you approach me, you can ask me any questions during or after the game, but I answer based on the laws of the game. I make my calls based on the laws of the game. So when I go out there, I'm always professional.
So in that spirit of professionalism, how was it initially switching from a player to a referee? Because I feel like it's very different when you're official and on the pitch playing.
Yes, talk about missing the game as a player. Yes, being in the game as a player and then transitioning as an official is not an easy task, because it is what I'm used to. I'm used to running with the ball, getting hit, making hits, scoring, kicking for conversion, all of that. That was like embedded in me. So being a part of the game, even initially, in my beginning years of officiating, at one point I felt as if I was watching the game while out there officiating. So, but I had to separate that mindset. I had to come out of that mindset and know that this is it. I have decided to transition to being an official, and I have to stick with it.
So in the spirit of watching the game, what match stands out as your most memorable in your refereeing career so far? Is that a domestic match, an international match? What match stands out to you and says, yeah man, just something about this match, The
matches, all right, so for officially, locally, what stands out locally are the POR matches. That is the parish of resident matches. That's where the best of Kingston faces the best of St. Catherine. So we call it the Blues versus the Reds. This is where everybody gives their all, both teams. The level of competition here is next to a national match, a representative match. Could be a Jamaica versus an Australia. Australia's or New Zealand could be deemed as one of the best currently. And that is the level and the intensity these matches are played at. Because it's a representative match. The best of Kingston versus the best of
St. Catherine.
Right. And the year that would stand out to me is 2018, pre-COVID, or was it post-COVID, 2020. It was the year St. Catherine actually won their first POR match.
Okay.
Very intense.
History in the making.
History in the making, yes. And there was a do or die straight to the end. Our match actually went into extra time based on the points that was allotted to the respective.
Sounds very exciting.
Yes. Internationally, though, which match I would say that's dominant? Currently, the match that would have just played recently since to close off the rugby league calendar locally.
The Jamaica versus Canada one?
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay.
So that was played in November. The Jamaicans stepped out in high spirit. They were dominant. Canada came to defend what they thought they would have won, but the energy and the home crowd, the feeling just to be a part of the match, it was immense. I mean, I had to be in control and to stay focused. So those two matches were the most dominant matches for me.
The most dominant matches. Yeah. So the home ground advantage really, you could feel the difference in the kind of match you're saying. Definitely.
The crowd was way behind the Jamaicans, and I mean, the Canadians had their crowd too. They had their moments. They are some talented set of people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the drive to win, and again the home crowd advantage, I think played a huge part in the victory of the Jamaicans.
Okay, so we've been talking a lot about the men's rugby matches and the men's rugby league, but you were appointed for the International Rugby League Women's World Series in 2024, right?
That's correct.
Yes, so how was that experience for you?
That was a great experience. The exposure that it brought, the experience also that I garnered. I mean, people that I interacted with both from a board level and from a player perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I've been interacting with the players, the female players. They were intriguing and interesting set of people. I mean, a lot of them were from different countries, mind sharp, but the language barrier and what they would have taught me, because so there was a session that we had as officials where we would have interacted with the ladies to educate them about the sport some more, ensuring that they are afraid with the rules and keeping and know that these are the cause and how and why they are being made. A lot of them just play the sports for playing the sports' sake. Surprisingly, I mean, they're just there to represent. So the experience was great and immense.
So they were just there, you said, so they were just there for the experience, there to represent their country. So how do you think rugby league will grow in the future if we keep having matches like that? If we keep having matches where people are just representing, it's just not, it's for more national pride than it is for being a professional athlete in that sense. How do you think rugby league is shaping to be? And what do you think is the role of a referee or an official in that growth or that expansion that's to come?
Well, great question. So as officials, we control the game. Without an official, first and foremost, the game cannot be played. And we have to be fair. So we have to marshal the game, we have to control the game, we have to ensure that respect is shown and respect is received. That's one. Two, we have to go out there and look for ourselves. In my case, Jamaica Rugby League and now an international referee. I have to represent and be fair at all times. We help the game to grow because as I said, without us,
There's no
you
game.
can't play. Right. You have
Yeah.
to have a bias. It's right across. If you don't have an official to be present on the field, the game cannot go on. There's no fairness.
Mm-hmm.
So we are seen or deemed to be the leaders out there who not just help to control the game, but control each player, create that sense of
Balance.
friendly, yes, unbiased and fair play out.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of the league growing locally, more persons are gravitating. One, simply because rugby league in Jamaica is a family, or rugby in Jamaica. I'm not gonna say rugby league only. Rugby in Jamaica is a family sport. We're all for each other, and there is no way you can not want to be a part of a family that looks out for each other, that takes care of each other in every single way possible.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I hear you saying so because we're growing together as a family, because we're such a unit of compassion. Basically, the sport is growing in a more natural way, and
Yes.
the refs are an integral part of that. I hear you. So, a quick question that came to mind while you're talking about how you see Jamaica growing and how you see the local development and how you see the rugby world itself growing. A quick question that came to my mind was, how do you ensure fairness when officiating matches involving Jamaica, both the women's team and the men's team? Because I think you're the most consistent ref that is in the international matches for Jamaica. So how do you maintain your objectivity?
And so, being fair, I have to keep a faith with the rules. The rules are always changing. I have to be aware. I have to keep abreast. I have to keep on point. So my physical fitness, my mental fitness, my mental knowledge of the game has to be at the best at all times. So I am always watching matches. I'm always trying to get in some form of fitness training. Because if your body gets tired, you become lethargic and you start making mistakes. So it's not wise to go out there and get tired. That will aid into errors and bad judgment. So you have to be sharp, which I try to be at all times.
So do you have a pre-match ritual or a routine that helps you focus and maintain that sharpness?
Yes, I do. So first and foremost, most times I'm always watching a match, even before matches, like the night before. Refreshing my knowledge on the rules. And the 1%ers, my coaches and mentors have always said the 1%ers will always carry you through. So the simple signal, simple calls that you will normally do, as in a knock on, a forward pass, a scrum, those 1%ers makes a difference. And on match day, I try to always be there at least 2 hours before. First and foremost, I walk the field, ensure everything is intact, field is marked on where the lines are, where is the try area, meet with the teams prior to the beginning of the match, do my coin toss, and get all of those simple things out the way. Meet with the captains, and if I deem fit to meet with the entire team. At times, and then it comes back to this. It comes back to how we as officials help the game to grow. We might share some information with the captains, and the captains in themselves go and relate everything to the players. At times we have to know when we will need to meet with a team versus just a captain.
I hear you.
Right. So we'll get those things out the way and just let them know that, all right, this is how you're expecting the game to flow, and what you're expecting and what you're not. So you have to set your precedents. Well, I set my precedents from there.
Well, that's very insightful. I honestly never really thought that much about the preparation that goes into officiating matches, especially at a higher level.
Right.
So, throughout your entire refereeing or your officiating career, I have to ask, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received from another official? Because it seems like you're a man that likes to question people, and you're a man that will actually go out there and seek answers. So I figure you're out there asking questions, and you must have heard some incredible advice.
My best piece of advice that I've gotten is to follow the ball.
Follow the ball.
Follow the ball and keep your eyes open. Yes.
I like it, man. I like it.
Follow the ball. Yeah.
So, Kemoy, are you also a teacher of younger referees?
I am a mentor. I wouldn't like. Yes, I'm gonna say I'm a mentor. A mentor. Yes.
So, what's the most rewarding part of mentoring these younger referees?
The appreciation that they get from the knowledge of the game. When I go out there and actually explain the rules to an individual who is not even a player, who might not be a player, but somebody who's just interested within the game, to say, why you made this call, or on what basis is this happening? The expression that they get and the appreciation to say, oh, you know exactly what you're doing. You understand the game. That satisfaction is the best feeling ever.
I see. That's a great answer, Kemoy. Honestly, that's a great answer. So on the basis of explaining to individuals again, right, and on mentoring, so you're a referee at multiple levels, the international level, the domestic level, and even domestically, you referee some high school matches as well, right?
Yes.
Or not anymore?
Not really. I would, in all honesty, not that I'm not willing to, but based on other priorities in terms of work-related matters, yes. It's not.
Okay, I see.
It's not conducive.
Okay. Well, the question my question remains the same. So how do you adapt your officiating style to different levels of competition, from the grassroots level here in Jamaica to the highest level you see abroad? How do you adapt?
Let me say that the standard has never fallen for me. If it's locally or internationally I am officiating, the standard my best is always what you will get. So even if I'm I have done a few high school matches, and even though they are not as aware of the rules or knowledgeable of the rules, if the foundation isn't set right, let's say that, if the foundation isn't set properly, then the entire system is going to have an issue going forward. And again, it comes back to your question: how do we as officials help to make the game grow, or how can we make the game grow? If we are relaxed for the high schoolers, we're going to allow them to make mistakes. We're going to allow them to possibly even get hurt. And we can't allow this. These are things we don't want within the game. If we can control that, which we can't control it 100%, but we can have it. We can have some control over it. So we have those simple factors eliminated. While we're out there officiating, we guide them as best as possible. Correct playing of the ball, correct way to tackle. Just some simple communications during breakdowns of play help them to mature and transition into the next level. So when a national coach gets them now, they have some understanding of the game, some understanding of what is expected and where they are to be. So when they come and represent in a club match or a national match, they are more aware of the standard of what is expected.
Kemoy, I can honestly say, you detailing the responsibilities of a referee, it's very interesting. It's very interesting stuff. So my next question it's again the responsibility of the referee, but it's more unique to you because you referee different styles of competitions from 13s to 9s. So is there any difference in the international 9s versus the local 9s, like the refereeing?
The only difference, if I'm to be honest, is just the level of players that I would have to interact with. The speed of the game remains the same. The experience and knowledge, though, it's a bit higher than the local level. I mean,
Okay.
Internationally, you have a lot more persons, you have a lot more bodies, companies that is pushing into those their organization, the respective countries' rugby league organization. While locally we crave, Jamaica craves more attention in terms of
naturally.
right. And with where we're at, starting not even field wise, as in a home ground for a national training field, that plays a lot in the development and the level that we need to be and where we want to go. While we have other countries that it's a greater tradition for them, or the sport is more recognized, yeah, we have a far way to go. So
we're in the stage of setting a tradition. I hear you.
Right. The speed of the game and the knowledge of the game is at a different level internationally.
So Kemoy, which stadium or venue is your favorite officiating then?
Locally, we have the University of the West Indies, who has been on board with us for quite some time. They have the best venue so far. And internationally, well, I can't say internationally the fields are amazing. The fields are amazing.
Why?
Yes.
So after international matches, right? So I'm assuming that there are a lot of high pressure situations because both teams are complaining to you, coaches, this, that, and the next, because there's some matches you officiate without Jamaica in there. So now they're just cussing you off. So how do you unwind or how do you handle those high pressure situations as an official?
Again, it's based on the rules of the game. My calls are always made based on the laws of the game. So the questions the countries or players can always pose their questions to myself or the international body, International Rugby League Association, and they can highlight even use clips to ask on what basis was this call made. And again, I make my calls based on the rules of the game. I never make a call based on an assumption or what I think.
Okay, I hear you. So I think it's about time we're up. So I really only have one more question I want to ask you, Kemoy. And it's, what does it mean to you personally to be recognized as Jamaica's leading rugby league official? Because after such a long career, after such big heights and big moments representing Jamaica, after coming back, after losing against Canada, to come back and see Jamaica win last year, what does it really mean to you? How do you feel after being recognized by the Jamaican Rugby League?
First and foremost, I am at awe. Words can't explain in honesty how appreciative I am of this venture that I am on. It is an inspiration within myself just to be a highlight and a symbol of the officials for Jamaica Rugby League. I mean, I have great companions coming up. I have persons that, I'm looking for them to carry on this mantle and reach even further than myself, because my time, I'll only be here for such a short time. I don't think it's long enough. Yeah. But
Okay.
it means a lot. And I'll continue to raise my flag and raise the bar as high as possible.
That is it. We love to hear it. Anyway, Mr. White, thank you so much for being here. Thank
Thank you for having me.